Actually, there is a distinction. You can call somebody mother, but then an adoptive mother is not going to be insulted when you say biological mother. Right? An adopted mother is not going to say that biological mother is an inappropriate term. The trans movement claims that the term biological female is somehow offensive. The trans movement will claim that female encompasses not biology somehow. It's a bizarrely illogical categorization. So the trans movement is not a threat to biology. Biology is biology. People will continue to reproduce. I mean...
Hey guys, how y'all doing? Welcome back again to another reaction video. Guys, if you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Cheese. Guys, I'm going to be reacting to this video titled
Hey Ben, this week in Israel, they reported that like 76% of Israelis thought that Netanyahu should step down. And I'm curious, like, because Israel doesn't have a figurehead like Zelensky to rally around, is Netanyahu doing more harm than good? Also, I'm curious if you would have on Dean Phillips for a Sunday special.
So I'm not really aware of Dean Phillips other than he's running against Biden, right? That's the guy. I didn't hear of him until he ran against Biden, so... Sure, I guess, why not? I mean, sure, okay. But in any case, as far as Netanyahu, the reason that Israelis are very anti-Netanyahu is that Israelis actually are reacting the way that I would hope that Americans reacted to bad presidents, which is when a president fails, they get very angry at it. So this is the single greatest security failure in Israeli history. And so even a lot of people who voted for Netanyahu in Israel are now very anti-Netanyahu. Now, the way that it works in Israel is because they have a coalition government, they actually have to have a vote of no confidence, and then a majority has to vote Netanyahu out. That's not going to happen right now. But whenever people on the left or in the media start talking about the right-wing Netanyahu government, that's ridiculous and ignorant, considering that right now they have a unity government that includes Benny Gantz, who's on the center left. Right? The fact is that Israel has come together in incredible ways in the after. It reminds me of 9/11 in the United States. Like, people came together for a hot second here. I think it's going to last a lot longer there, because the truth is that as devastating as 9/11 was for the United States, Israel's a much, much smaller country. And so in terms of sort of the feeling of insecurity, they're also surrounded on every border by people who don't like them very much. And so I think that the future of the state of Israel is going to be a lot more unified. But yeah, I mean, Netanyahu's going to take a serious political hit at some point in the future.
What about, like, internationally?
I mean, internationally, I think people are looking for an excuse to be putting pressure on Israel, because the easiest solution is always weapons down, everybody calm down, a few Jews got killed, but whatever, we don't want this thing to escalate. The reality is what is in the best interest of pretty much everybody, except for the Iranians, is for Hamas to be destroyed completely and utterly. That's in the best interest of the Europeans, and it's in the... It's in everybody's best interest, including, by the way, Sunni governments.
Hello, Ben. My name is Tyler. It's an honor to get to speak to you tonight. My question's over right-wing populism within the future of the Conservative Party. Over the last decade, through the rise of figures like Donald Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Josh Hawley, we have seen a rise in right-wing populism, especially with young people, challenging the traditional conservatism of the Republican Party. What do you think will be the outcome of this internal identity struggle for the party as a whole?
So the weird thing that's so strange about, for example, the triumvirate of people you just mentioned, Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Josh Hawley, is there are actually pretty significant disagreements between them on policy. Foreign policy would be a good example. Trump, for example, was extremely pro-Israel. Marjorie Taylor Greene is kind of somewhere there, and Hawley is pro-Israel, but also tends to be more isolationist generally than Trump was on foreign policy. When it comes to spending habits, Hawley is less big government than Trump is. What populism is a tactic. It's not an actual philosophy. Populism is just a tactic where you basically say, the people are the final repository of all wisdom, and so I'm going to you, the people, as opposed to the elites. And you can see populism used by, for example, Bernie Sanders, right? This is Sanders' shtick also. It's just from the left. And so I'm not sure what to make of populism as a political movement in terms of its actual policy recommendations, because you do see a wide variety of figures who have tried to kind of engage with that populist wave. I think the Republicans who dismiss it, who pretend that they don't have to speak to it, are going to do very poorly. At the same time, I don't think that Trumpism is a philosophy. Trumpism is an impulse. And I think the impulse is sometimes good, but it's reactive. It's reactionary in nature. And so that's why, for example, you'll see in the Republican Party that the more somebody is criticized, the more Republicans start to resonate to that person, whether or not they're dumb. Right? This happens a lot. Like, you'll have Lauren Boebert, and Lauren Boebert, I mean, I hate to break it to you guys, Lauren Boebert ain't like the brightest egg in the carton. And I mean, just Google Lauren Boebert Beetlejuice concert. In any case, Lauren Boebert, like, there's a mass support for her that came out from kind of the hard right once she was attacked by the left. And it seems to me that we shouldn't measure the greatness or goodness of our politicians by how much the left hates them. That can be an early indicator that maybe they might be worth looking at, but that shouldn't be sort of the final judgment call. They really, really hate this guy, therefore he is good. It seems to me that they really, really hate that guy, therefore they hate that guy is more accurate.
Thank you very much.
Oh my god, guys, like I'm super excited sharing this video with you guys because I really love Ben Shapiro. He's very, very intelligent. This guy, like, he's full of wisdom. He's very, very intelligent, very, very brave, very, very smart. Oh my god, like, I'm so amazed. I'm so happy seeing this video and also sharing it with you guys. I think the Wisconsin University must be privileged, yes, for having such a wonderful speaker like Ben Shapiro. Like everything he's saying here is actually true. I just love the way he analyzed things. I love the way he talked to the students. Oh my god, like he really he gave them that listening ear, and the students, they were able to understand all his speech. What a nice one from him. Guys, let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. Okay, let's go on.
Hello, Ben. There was a time where the word mother exclusively described a woman in relation to her biological offspring, but our definition has since shifted to account for adoption, leaving us with a more social and less biological outlook on motherhood. My question for you is how affirming transgender identity is such a threat to biology when we have clear precedent for similar shifts in language?
Okay, so usually there is a distinction. You can call somebody mother, but then an adoptive mother is not going to be insulted when you say biological mother. Right? An adopted mother is not going to say the biological mother is an inappropriate term. The trans movement claims that the term biological female is somehow offensive. The trans movement will claim that female encompasses not biology somehow. It's a bizarrely illogical categorization. So the trans movement is not a threat to biology. Biology is biology. People will continue to reproduce. I mean, some of us. But in any
He's
case,
right.
the no implication made. But in any case, some people will continue to reproduce. Those reproductive relationships will be almost entirely male-female. And the only exceptions would be in vitro or artificial insemination, which will be an extraordinarily tiny percentage of actual inseminations and pregnancies. So biology is not threatened. Truth is threatened. I'm not worried about biology being threatened. If you want to threaten your own biology, I mean, that's your prerogative. But truth, the idea that male refers to a biological category as opposed to an idea that you have in your head that is unverifiable by any sort of objective reality, that is something that nobody who cares about truth should acquiesce to. The entire way that we communicate is through words that have mutually agreed upon definitions. And the definition of a word cannot be an Ouroboros that eats itself. It can't be a woman is anyone who says they are a woman, which is a woman. It's completely circular. That has no definition. If you want to define a category, the category has to have definition. And any attempt to broaden that category out to include things that are clearly not in that category, and in fact, there are only two categories, male and female. They're actually in the other category. That is a fundamental assault on the truth, and nobody should accept that.
In one of your more infamous debates, you said, "I'm not going to modify basic biology because it threatens your subjective sense of what you are."
Yes.
My argument is not that terms like biological female or biological male are necessarily offensive. My argument is that you are saying that referring to a trans woman as a woman or a trans man as a man or et cetera, is like inherently offensive or threatens biology. And I'm curious why it's so threatened when there's clear precedent for changing the language.
Again, the term mother does not include father. Every category has to have boundaries. The boundary of female starts at male. And when you start including male in the category of female, you are threatening biological definitions as well as basic truth.
Well, you could say the category of mother starts at conception or, a biological relation to an offspring. But as we know,
but again, the idea that you are, the idea of motherhood being the act of mothering, right? And that is a female. A female does the act of mothering. You can say that a female who does the act of mothering is a mother, but you also have a special category called biological motherhood. I'm not going to say that an adoptive mom and a biological mom have precisely the same definition. They don't. They're underneath a subset of category called motherhood. That motherhood sometimes involves birth, sometimes it does not, but it certainly involves being a female.
What do you think about the distinction between cis women and trans women?
Explain.
Well, you're saying You're saying that a more inclusive usage of the word mother isn't particularly offensive because we also have biological mother.
Yes.
We've offered the term cis woman, and even biological woman or assigned female at birth. We've offered a variety of terms that properly categorize people.
Again, you cannot extend the term woman to apply to a biological male. Every category has an endpoint. If there are only two categories, male and female, and you say that female now is in this category, there are no definitions. There are no definitions. I mean, to paraphrase my friend Matt Walsh, I'm going to need you to explain what a woman is without reference to the word woman. We can go on all day like this, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say it's necessarily circular to say that a woman is someone who exhibits womanhood.
Yes, it is.
And that...
It's definitionally circular.
Well, my
That's like
argument-
saying a hand is something that fundamentally shows handhood.
Well, what I...
Oh my
Is
god,
something
guys,
that
like
demonstrates
I'm so
poly's
excited
frequent.
sharing this with you
What-
guys.
what-
The Wisconsin University, they must be very, very happy for having a speaker like Ben Shapiro. I just hope I got that name right, guys. Like, I just love the way he analyzed things. He's very, very intelligent, guys. What he said is very, very true. Like, the definition of a biological mother is quite different from that of a adopted mother. Yes, because the way we define and clarify our biological mother is quite different. There is a big difference between a biological mother and adopted mother. That is someone that adopt a child. Is really quite different, and I think there was, and for the university students like this guy, they are very, very intelligent. Yes, I just love their question. They asked a very, very reasonable question. Guys, what a nice one. Like, I really enjoyed every bit of this video. Guys, I'm just so excited coming across it. The above video was released 6 months ago, yeah, by Ben Shapiro. I think this is my second time reacting on Ben Shapiro. I just love his speech. His speech are very, very classic. They are very, very straightforward. Very, very. He's a very, very brave man, guys. Like, it really amazed me a lot with his speech. I'm so excited sharing this with you guys. What do you think about this video? Please let me know in the comment section, and I'll be right there waiting for you. Okay, so guys, thank you for watching. Stay tuned and see you in my next one. Bye.